National Air Races, aviation's greatest annual spectacle. A grueling test of pilots, planes, and engines. A final proving ground for the products of laboratory, research, and development. In Cleveland, Ohio, at the National Air Races, breathless crowds watch this three-day contest of pilots and planes. Here, thousands of people, including an enthusiastic audience of Kendall men, who, dressed in fire red caps and neckties blazoned with a Kendall dealer sign of quality, wait for the finish of the Bendix Trophy Race, a dash across the continent which annually opens this great show. More anxiously awaiting finish than many others is 17-year-old Terita Mantz, whose father, Paul Mantz of Hollywood, is trying to win this trophy for the third time. And here he is, Paul Mantz, the three-time winner. 4 hours, 33 minutes, 48 and 7/10 of a second. Terita welcomes him at a long, rough trip flying his North American P-51 Mustang at an average speed of 447.98 miles per hour. Linton B. Carney won second place at an average speed of 446.11 miles per hour. And third place, less than 2 minutes behind the winner, was won by the famous Jacqueline Cochran at an average speed of 445.85 miles per hour. One of the greatest obstacles to these high speeds, in fact, one of the greatest opponents of smooth, dependable performance in any engine, is friction. But the winner for these pilots over this obstacle is a performance-proven oil. All 5 ships that finished this terrific race across the country, including Paul Mantz, used Kendall, the 2,000-mile oil. Precision stunting, a beautiful performance by Lieutenants Fenton and Fitzgerald of the Air Force Reserve. They are now on active duty. Wow, very active duty. Here is the Cleveland Trophy Race, 105 miles around a closed course for planes of less than 2,850 cubic inches cylinder displacement. In addition to the $7,500 total purse, a special prize of $500 for the fastest lap makes the boys battle at every turn. Watch them come over the field and swing around the pylon, fighting for every inch. Northwest Airline pilot M.W. Fairbrother, although forced to pull out on his 6th lap, won the $500 special prize on his 2nd lap at an average speed of 378.84 miles per hour in his North American P-51. The field soon spreads out, but what a thrill as they roar past, singly and in pairs, at better than 350 miles per hour. At this speed, the miles soon roar behind. When the last lap was over, Bruce Raymond won a photo finish in his famed Galloping Ghost. With Bob Euchre a few yards behind in his Kingcobra. And here is Bruce receiving his hard-won trophy. The next day brought this Ohio Handicap race. In this race, pilots were not allowed to exceed their qualifying speed, which determined their handicaps and starting sequences. The slowest planes took off first, with the other entrants following at the proper time interval. The first to cross the finish line to be declared the winner. By planning this event exclusively for the famous P-63 Kingcobras, P-51 Mustangs, and P-38 Lightnings, the sponsors of this race gave the spectators a first-hand opportunity to compare the flying characteristics of these planes. Split-second control and absolute confidence with an expert knowledge of timing were required all the way. There's no dust on the pylons after these boys finish a turn. Look at them go! Charles Bing won the $500 fastest lap prize on his 3rd lap at 395.54 miles per hour. Bob Euchre of Cleveland, Ohio, who finished second in the tournament race the day before, had the satisfaction of nosing out the other 8 entrants for the lion's share of the $7,500 purse. Another winner who placed his faith in Kendall. These are the planes of the Army Air Force, a wonderful display of the Air Force flying might. The majestic bombers, B-29s, in an awe-inspiring procession. One of these is the historical atom bomb carrying ship, Dave's Dream, sturdy, powerful, and efficient. And then the jets, the Shooting Stars, in precision maneuvers, sleek, deadly beauty, and incredible speed. And here the monster of them all, the fabulous B-36, 140 tons of plane, a cruising range of 10,000 miles. Isn't she a tremendous ship? Just to give you a better idea of her size, here she is again with a jet fighter for escort. That's your Air Force, America's Air Force, on display at the National Air Races. Maybe after that B-36, we'd better have a plane cut down to our size. Here's Betty Skelton, Women's National Aerobatic Champion, the youngest and smallest stunt flyer and racer in the country. That sign on the nose of her ship tells her choice in oil. These are great days for the private flyers, as designers seek improvements in small planes. The Goodyear Trophy Race emphasized this interest in light planes with a record-breaking entry. Some of the greatest plane designers and test pilots were represented in these races as they tried the latest in original engineering developments, designs, and construction. The racing on a 2-mile closed course in front of the grandstand was a beautiful sight. There were so many entries that this event had to be run in heats with eliminations to semifinals and the finals. Some of these tiny racers were the product of well-equipped shops and laboratories, but many were built in small hangars and shops all over the nation. The only thing they have in common is a Continental 188 cubic inch engine, originally 85 horsepower, but all of them so souped up that they really turn up to incredible speed. A victory roll by one of the heat winners. Labor Day brought the final, a 24-mile grind with $25,000 awaiting the 8 winners. The flag, the takeoff, and away they go. Ingenuity, engineering ability, and flying skill have once more come to their grueling test, their final proving ground. The chief significance of this event for the midget ships are the innovations built into them that will stimulate the light plane industry. Many of the designs are radical, but some of these new features are bound to become standard equipment in a few years. And here's the winner. Fish Salmon flew a cosmic wind named the Minnow to victory at the record-breaking speed of 169.608 miles per hour. He and all the rest of the final 8 money winners in the Goodyear race depended on Kendall to see them through the elimination heats and the final race. A thumping tribute to the popularity of Kendall quality. Stock model planes become more advanced and more versatile every year. Look at this standard Beechcraft Bonanza as the famous Bevo Howard puts her through an aerobatic routine. This is a standard plane flown to the air races with passengers as part of its regular use by its owner. But you can bet he didn't fly it like this. Watch this slow roll. Here they are getting their planes ready for the Kendall Trophy Race, a 75-mile closed course event for women pilots only. It brought together the cream of the feminine pilots. Let's meet them. Kathy Landry of Coral Gables, a flyer since 1940, who served as a WASP in the war. And today is her birthday, and we certainly wish her luck. Nancy Corrigan, a former Powers model, who now teaches flying at Stevens College. Nancy was born in Ireland, and what a sweet Colleen she is. Dot Lemon of Houston, Texas. Dot learned to fly in 1926, and since then she has logged over 11,000 hours. She is the mother of 4 sons, all of whom served in the armed forces in the last war. Helen McBride, Little Mac from Apopka, Florida, also has 4 children. She has raced small ships, but this is her first year in a larger plane. Grace Harris of Kansas City, Secretary and Treasurer of the Ong Aviation Corporation, a businesswoman who flies for fun. Grace has been flying since 1940, and this is her 2nd year of racing. Ruth Johnson from Upland, California, has been flying several years, raced first in 1946, and last year won the Halley Trophy in her AT-6. Betty Clark of Denver won the nickname of Buzz Betty while serving as a Watt, when she made 2 generals and 3 colonels hit the dirt. Betty has been flying since 1942. Now they are ready, and the planes taxi in front of the grandstand, past the crowds to the starting line at the far corner of the field. Let's join the ladies and race with them. Maybe we can get the thrill of racing, the feel of the plane, the thrill of pylon dusting. The girls get final instructions, a few last words about the rules, and into the plane, ready to go. Here's the starter, ready? The flags go down, and they're off. It's 5 laps on the 15-mile course. Here's the first pylon. Now, open her up wide for the straightaway dash to the next turn. Hug the pylons as close as you can, and stay near the ground. Here they come close to the grandstand. Grace Harris has opened quite a lead over some of the finest girl pilots in the country. Let's take a turn with one of the girls. We sweep around, and the rest thunder along behind. Here's Grace Harris in front of the grandstand again. She's still in the lead. Can she hold it? Let's make a turn with her. Around we go. She is holding her lead. But look at this fight for second place. Kathy Landry and Doc Lemon boiling into the last lap. Look at those girls burn up the course. Here's Grace Harris flashing across the finish line. The winner's flag. And up and off the course. Now that battle for second place. Watch those girls come in. Kathy Landry is second, and Doc Lemon third by 4/10 of a second. Betty Clark of Denver took 4th. And Nancy Corrigan came in 5th. Here's our winner, Grace Harris. She pushed her AT-6 to an all-time and close course speed record for that type of plane, 234.96 miles per hour. She's greeted by Russ Keck, Vice President of the Kendall Refining Company, who will present the Kendall Trophy. Hold it, Grace. Don't lose your handbag. You'll need it for the prize money, but it's not large enough for your trophy, that beautiful set of silver. The Kendall men give the new champion a warm welcome. What's this? The Marines have landed, and the Navy is here. Only nobody's landed. It's the Fleet Air Arm in the air. The giant Carolina Mars. Jets. Bearcats. Helldivers. And the famous Blue Angels Precision Combat Team. These are the flyers and the ships that knock the Zeros out of the sky above the Pacific. And many of these pilots are weekend flyers now. Part-time flyers in the Naval Reserve, performing maneuvers such as these to maintain their skill and flying ability. Steeped in the traditions of the National Air Races is the world-famous Thompson Trophy Race, open to the 10 fastest qualifying planes. The Thompson is a test of speed and endurance. 300 miles around a quadrangular 15-mile course. And there they go. That's Chuck Brown in his P-39 Aerobatic Performance. Shot out to lead 10 of the world's fastest piston engine planes. all of them stripped down Army and Navy fighters, to climax the Labor Day program of the races. A total prize purse of $40,000 awaiting the winners, plus an additional prize of $100 to the pilot making the fastest time in each of the 20 laps, made the boys really push the throttles open. Cook Cleland's two Corsairs, hot after Chuck Brown for a few laps, were forced to pull out when their air scoops tore loose. The rest thunder on, Brown still setting a blistering 400-mile-an-hour pace. Euchre's water cooler broke, forcing him out. The others roar on, but one by one they had to pull out. Until, what's this? Brown out too? Yes, fuel pressure failure in his 19th lap brought him down with victory almost in his grasp. In second place after the 10th lap is Anson Johnson of Miami Springs. And when Brown pulled out, Johnson raced on to victory. Bruce Raymond was second, and Wilson Newhall of Chicago third. The only three to finish. Here is Anson Johnson receiving the coveted Thompson Trophy from F.C. Crawford, president of the National Air Races. Say, look, here it is, the fastest ship of all. Major Richard Johnson in the F-86 jet. He's here for an attempt at the world speed record. Watch him go by. 670 miles per hour, almost the speed of sound. The records were not official, as only 3 of the necessary 4 passes were recorded. Major Johnson, owing to lack of visibility, flew out of the camera range on his 3rd pass. But he did set a new record in this same place a few days later. To the victors went the laurels. And to Kendall comes a tremendous tribute, unique and remarkable. Not a single engine failure due to lubrication. These pilots, Pylon Dusters all, used the same Kendall, the 2,000-mile oil, available to motorists at all independent Kendall dealers. Proven performance for your car or plane. Every winner in every race used Kendall, the 2,000-mile oil.